Hi guys, so today what we're going to do is we're tinkering on the 2800. We're going to just be doing some of the smaller things that we can do. There's some windows that are collapsing which we're going to fix and strip the door panels out and look at them. That'll be another video. But what I'm going to address today is the front bumper, which you can see behind me here. So you can have a look here. If I do this whole thing is loose, and if you can see here, it's not fitting correctly over here. It should be sitting up. The whole thing's loose. And if we come across this side over here, this one, you see it's all loose as well. So what we got to do is get under here. I'm going to try and get under here. As you can see, agility is not my best. Get underneath. So the bolts are underneath, but what I have to do is I can't get access. Actually, I can't get access in there behind. There's no space. So what I have to do is take the bumpers off. I take the whole bumper off, which I think is held on by about 6 bolts, I think. I'm going to have a look at it now and I'll show you underneath. So as you can see, you can see there, it's not sitting right along here. It's supposed to sit up. And you can see this whole thing is loose, so obviously it doesn't help when you're driving the car. It rattles. You can see this one sits properly over here, but it's totally loose. So I'll strip the bumper off, and what I can see is coming around here is that in here is a bolt that holds it, and in there you can see there's 2 bolts there, one there, one there. I think if I loosen that, loosen this one over here, which is on the inside over here, and I do the same on the other side, the whole bumper should come up and I should have access to these front overriders, so I can strip and clean them, and at the same time just give the bumper a good polish. But as you can see, it's parked in its new spot over here. Took the badge off because this clip was broken and that one is not so great, so it was rattling, so I didn't want to lose it, so I took it off. Just have to get some new clips there. As you see, prepped, got some tools, got some Q20 just to squirt on the nuts and bolts in case they're a bit rusted and old. Socket set, so we're going to try and have a look. The bricks there is just in case, the handbrake and everything does work. So get underneath and see if we can get this sorted out. I'll show you how I strip it and you're going to laugh at me, but hey, Home Mechanics 101, here we go. So I think what I want to do is give this thing a squirt just to make sure I've got it's very, should turn the wheel to make it easier for myself, shouldn't I? Anyway, let's see. Oh, where are you? And there you go. Okay. That's good. A Q20. Let's see how that goes. So yeah, I'm going to start off with trying to take this side off. Go around the other side, take the other side off. There's a squirt in there. Just trying to excuse my face and expressions, guys, but I'll give it a little spray and see what happens. The other side, the same thing, and then try and take it off and see how it goes from there. Guys, gonna take this one off. It's been a few minutes, so to let you know, those of you home mechanics like me, you need 2 13s, one for the inside of the bumper here, one for the inside of the fender, and then we can start loosening this bolt. So we can start with this side, swing across the other side, and then do the middles. So let's give it a go. Let's see how good I am. I'll fight with the cap most of the film and drop spanners. Let's have a look. See here. Get in there. Oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. I mean, yeah. There you are. Come out. Oh, okay. It's fairly loose. Wasn't even tight. Get on the racket. Okay, guys. So, we're not regular mechanics, we just you can't see. So, we're not regular mechanics, we just you can't see me, but we just do this for fun. Ah, nut off. There we go. And there she is. I don't know if you can see it. One side there, so nut out. Yeah, let's get in here. Okay. Bolt off. So, the trick of the trade I've learned over the years, you don't lose things. Put nut and bolt back together and keep it on the side that you're working. So there you are. That's loose. So we're going to go and do the other side. Hopefully we have the same success. Limited for camera angle and space. I'll try and do the best I can. Let's get in here. This one looks pretty loose as it is. Oh my days, okay. Board. I think that nut has been hurt, so what I'm going to have to do is try and dig up a socket over here. Having right under my armpits doesn't help. I don't know why. Okay, alright. Okay, I got the socket on. We have to go for a pause, got to find my ratchet. Okay, so mystery of the ratchet spanner. I don't know where my ratchet spanner is. Can't find it. Sometime later. So let's take this socket off and try. There you go. There you go. Oh. Okay, so there's no need to use the 13 with the ratchet on, but it's a plastic ratchet on the spanner, so you don't want to take off when it's too hard, otherwise you end up breaking the spanner. So let's just see. She's fighting me, but she's coming off. Nut off. Yeah, it looks like it's just been somebody over the time has been putting wrong spanners on it and rounded the head of it. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, okay, so there's some homemade thing going on here. I'll work that out. Let's just put them together so we don't lose them, like I said earlier. You know, I had one of these back in the 80s, a 2500, which I fully restored. Okay, that's a good few years ago when I was younger, fitter, more agile. So a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now, I'm not doing by memory. I've forgotten how these things go together, but just hopefully using basic common sense will hopefully. Oh, the hat. Seriously, the weird hairstyle to go with it. Hopefully common sense will prevail. Hopefully, let's get in here and take this lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. Let's get that to come off here. Hopefully this whole thing doesn't just drop on me. That'd be really exciting. I doubt I'm going to slide the whole thing out. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Okay. Theoretically, I should be able to take the bumper off, so let's see. Let's see what happens now. I've loosened what I think are nuts and bolts, so it should just pull out. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And she's out. Hey, she's out. So this is the offending member over here, which looks like that's the problem there. That's obviously mounting into the body. This is all pretty tight, but that's loose there. That's totally loose there. I need to do something about that. Coming across this side here, same problem, but it would appear that the bolt, as you can see, a bit of surface rust. It would appear that these bolts are not correct, but I'd have to look. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to give it a squirt of some Q20 because they look pretty rusted and it needs every little bit of help it can get. Let's have a look here. Q20 in hand. Let's just give it a bit of a soak to help it so it doesn't make my life a misery when I'm trying to take them off. That doesn't look right to me, that there, but we'll soon work it out. Try and see if we can sort that out and loosen it and do it right. It doesn't look quite right though somehow. Something looks off. I'll play around with it and have a look. But as you can see, it's got some surface rust, needs some TLC, which we'll try and do before it deteriorates too much. That's the underside. Could do with a good polish. But let's have a crack at that and see what happens and give it a few minutes just to soak through and do its magic. And then we'll give it a go, see what happens. It's just loose, so I'm going to have a look and see if I tighten it, it'll make a difference. I'm not planning on stripping them off today and fixing or restoring them and that, because the car is going to be fully restored during the course of the year, and then we'll strip them off and we'll do all those kind of things and clean them up and service them and that sort of thing. So not really high on the priority list now. It's just to get it all tightened up so it doesn't rattle when you're trying to drive the car, because you can hear the rattles. There's so many rattles on the car. I've already set the door locks and things like that. The doors are loose and rattling. So just some general things to make it more enjoyable for the short while we drive it around. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's tight. Okay, that's tight. That works. Let's see if we can get it in now. No, can't get it in. Okay. I don't want to over tighten it because I'm not sure what's behind there until I've stripped the thing off and had a look. But at least she's tight now and won't rattle. So we're going to move on to the other one, which is the offender, which I'm going to adjust and move over. So let's have a look at that quickly. In there. So I can't really get in there. But sure. Okay. Okay. Back to the drawing board. I've got to try and fathom out what's going on there. Okay, guys. So if you can see there, I'll try and go in slower there. That thing, I think that nut there is stripped. I can't tighten it, I can't loosen it. So what I'm going to try and do, maybe you guys can tell me, I'm going to try and loosen that one, but right in the back there where you can't see, there's another one. So I can try and take this rubber off and try and access from that side, if I can, if there is an access to get to that head on the other side. I don't know, but that's a real problem there. I cannot get it off. I cannot get a spanner in there. I cannot get a socket in there because it's too long. I don't have any heating equipment to heat it up. Maybe I don't know what's going on, but I also don't want to damage it at the same time. I've loosened that there to get it out the way, so I had more access over here, but that didn't seem to work. It doesn't really seem to do much. I'm going to try this option. I don't know if this is going to be a viable option. Let's have a look and see. Let's hope I'm successful. You're probably going to laugh at me and go, you can't get in there, but I don't know. I haven't stripped one of these before. Oh, days. I think this has got more than one. Oh, there we go. Can you believe it? I might have luck. There we are. I'd love to see what's gone wrong there. Okay, so let's see if we can get out the offending. Oh, I've got to take that off. I'm going to take it off. Ah, okay, that's going to be the next fight. Oh, my. Oh, it didn't. Okay. What a chop. Oh, okay. So that is right. Oh, yeah, I never would have got that off because there's like another. Oh, okay, she's off. Nice. But why is that so long? I don't know. Okay, so let's lie that down. And there she is. I was going to put those back on, but I think what I'll do is first just check and see why is this. Oh yeah, I can see the thread's been hurt as well. You probably won't see it on camera, but I can definitely see it. Oh, it looks in pretty good nick. Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's see how I clean it all up and put it all back together and find a proper nut here and resolve this issue, because that looks way too long. Okay, as you can see, I've got a chair to sit on. Strip this thing apart. So what I've discovered is I'm trying to get this lip here, as you can see, to sit up there, because if I come on this side, you can see how that sits from the angle there. Okay, so it seems there's a little more challenging than it is. What I did discover was loosening this here, that rubber pushed around a bit more, so it closed the gap there. However, I'm still getting the same problem that if I hold the phone there, the camera here, to get that to go up, I can get it there, but if I do that, we come around this side, you'll look at the massive hole over here. So I've got a bit of a compromise. I've loosened that there, loosened the brackets, adjusted the bumper as far as I can, and it doesn't seem as though I'm going to do much more than get it to sit with that slight incorrectness, which does bother me a bit, but anyway. So what I need to do now is, I'm going to take this off here, is that bolt is way too long. So I'm going to have to put on some spacers, and the thread is a little hurt. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, so I'm going to have to make a plan there so I can put it back together. So that's what we're doing now. So put that there. So there you can see we're going to scratch the nuts and bolts and see what we can do there. Maybe I can even find amongst my old scrap nuts and bolts a shaft to replace that, because it's got a little square thing at the bottom there, so I'd have to just strip off the rubber. I want to see if I've got anything lying there. So let's see what we can find. We'll get into that now. Put this out. Maybe I've got something in here. Otherwise I'm going to have to space it, like I said. You see it pretty quickly if I've got something. Something like that. So it's this little thing here. This is way shorter than this one here. If I go here, you see it's way shorter, so maybe it'll be the right length. If I can get a nut to fit, then I'll strip this apart and put that in there. Then I don't have the problem. Oh, okay, we could be in business. All right, on to the next one. Let's see what we can do. That could work. Let's find if we can get a nut fit, because the thread's also not hurt. The thread's better than this one here, but this one doesn't look right. I mean, that one might work better. So, well, let's have a look and see if now we can find a nut for it. Okay, so we found one. Cameraman made some camera adjustments there. What I'm going to do now is find a nut and bolt that will fit this, and then possibly see if this is going to work. If this one will work. Interesting. Because the thread looks the same, so I'm hoping we're going to be lucky. Because it means I actually can fit this thing properly. So I don't like doing half jobs. And when you see when we do start fixing this car and going through it, I don't like to take shortcuts. It's got to be done right. It looks similar thread. Let's hope for the best. It's not. Can you believe it? Okay. Alright, so that doesn't fit here. Oh boy. Could be out of luck. Okay, all else has failed. My trusty old bucket of nuts and bolts failed me finally after all these years. I have found the right length here, but I'll need to go down to the local hardware, I suppose, and get a correct nut for it. So I have refitted it. You probably won't be able to see in this light now there. I put in a spacer, which is a tube, tightened it down properly. So yep, it's nice and tight now. Other one's nice and tight. Got the gap okay there. Not happy with the gap on this side here, but I'll fathom that out. And this ridge line here, which shouldn't be as pronounced as it is or exposed, but yeah, we'll get to it. I loosened that there obviously, and I moved the rubber round a little bit more towards there. I think maybe there's a bit of adjustment left there still. I'll have a look at that. But it's getting late in the day now, and I am let's just oh, excuse me, there we are. Let's get this in the light so you can see. There we are. So I've put a tube in the back there, as you can see. Not ideal, not happy, but for the purposes of putting it back together, I don't want this thing to lie around and nuts and bolts get lost. I'm going to tend to all these things here. Obviously paint the things. I see the number plate is also loose, so I need to tighten that up. But yeah, again, we will keep you updated. It's been bothering me, this front bumper has been driving me crazy. I hardly slept on it. Don't like things crooked, and so before I put it back on the car, I want to run some ideas past you guys. And if you guys have got comments and feedback, I would appreciate it, because I'm not a body expert or anything like that. Love doing classic cars, love doing that kind of thing, but I'm not a genius about it. So it's live and learn. So again, it's retro car dogs, fixing a car 101. It's chaos, but collective thinking and understanding straight lines. Something's bothering me on this bumper, so I thought, let me show you what's bothering me and ask your opinion. If you guys have got comments, maybe you can give me some pointers in the right direction. So let's get to it. So you'll see, and I'm standing obviously behind the camera, if I'm looking at the overrider there, as you'll see, that overrider straight. I'm coming across to this overrider, and this overrider is pointing this way. It's not straight. When I come around here, you'll see that it's fitting fairly decently there. There is, however, a little gap over there, but it's fitting fairly decently there. That's the one in question. This one fitting the same. Come around here, and you'll see how it fits nice and flush on top of the front bumper. Its lines across there are nice, all the way down here and underneath. You'll see that it fits pretty nicely. If I come around and do a comparison on this one here, which is the one in question, it doesn't do the same. The bumper here and the gap here and underneath, something's wrong. So when I swing around, and I've got my thoughts on this, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. If I swing around the back end, and I'm going to do comparisons, I'm going to go away from that one to the one that sits sort of correct. You see its lines there are straight. If I lift up that flap, you see how it sits on top of this part of the bumper, which is a two-piece part. And you'll see there, it comes up. I'm trying to do that with my finger, and here is where this part sits here, okay? So it sits on top of this piece of the bumper. All right, so that's point one. If I come across this side, you have a look at this. Oh, okay, it is not sitting on top here like the other one, okay, which is weird. Or however, the gap here is fine. So I'm not sure. I have adjusted this bolt here and pushed this bumper in as far as it can go. Same there. So if you're looking at lines, look at this piece that sits here, distance from there to there. Have a look at this piece here. you can see there to there, more or less the same. If I look at the bottom piece lining up, now this is the overrider sticking out over here. It's literally flush with the bumper. You can see the indentation here goes up and along there. You can see where this sits in relation to that. Okay, now if I come across this side and I view this one, I'll go underneath. You'll see this one, if you look from the side, try and get around the side, it juts out here a whole lot. Like about 5-6 mils. It juts out. Okay. However, it's supposed to be sitting over here. But if I take this unit and twist it, so if I take the overrider and I loosen the bolt and I twist it that it straightens up, you got a massive gap over here. So I'm a little bit betwixt in terms of what's happening. So I've adjusted this, which is the bracket that holds the bumper to the body, which is flush there with the bracket on the back, which is the bumper bracket. If I come across here, I've basically done what this is on this side. Literally flush mounted there. So my thoughts are, and this is purely my thoughts, is that this overrider, which is now crooked, which really bugs me, is of a later model E3, or this bumper on this side is of a later model E3. I don't know if they were the same or if there were changes, slight mold or design changes between 71, because this is a 71 to, let's say, 73, 74. Maybe the bumpers were slightly different, slight upgrades, I'm not sure. But it's really got me beat, because this I don't like. I don't like the fact that this is crooked, because it's going to look weird on the car when it's on. And it's going to bug me. So do I take this one off, file it down along this lip here, that it comes across and sits on top like the other one and straightens up? I'm betwixt, or do I just leave it alone at the moment and we see from there? So I would really, for the E3 guys or the BM guys who know these E3s really well, I would appreciate comments and feedback, if you don't mind, to help me out with this. Oh, there, I forgot to switch off my data in the background, so I end up with a phone call. Then what I'm doing is taking the number plate off, but I don't know about you guys overseas, but here I like to pop rivet the number plates on, which is sort of a legal requirement, which I think is terrible. But this thing is broken at the top. The whole thing is loose, which means the only way to tighten it up, I've got to drill and take these out to get to the back to fix the bolts, because this thing rattles like crazy as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this issue here. And then we're also going to give the back of the bumper a clean, because I thought I'll put it back like it is. But that rust, and that's the thing that you can see over there, that's going to bother me. So I'm going to get in there and clean it all out and make it right before I put it back on the car. But it's just bugging me. I don't know. You know, maybe give me your insights, those of you who might know more about this than me. I would appreciate the feedback. Thanks very much. Okay, so I'm thinking that my panel beating, and I know earlier I asked tell me, but I managed to figure it out, I think, myself. So I discovered the bottom lip was bent. So the goal is to get this to line up straight at the camera like that one. Before it was sitting like that, if you can see that. So I wanted to sit like that, which means it effectively come across the top of this lip here and not sit down in this lip like it was before. So hopefully my panel beating fix works. So let's have a look and see if it does. So let's go. Hey, check it out. Oh yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. Hey guys, finished result. Quite a challenge actually. As you can see, she's on. So I had to really struggle to get spacing right, which I did. As you can see there, I got the spacing correct on the side, all the way around the front. Okay, and she's nice and clean now. And there's the fending one that's not overrider, which is now, there it is, nice and straight, going through, and you'll see what I did on the number plate. Little round head, you can see it. Little round head, much nicer, neater, trimmer. This is now solid, not rattling. You're coming around here, as you can see, and got the spacing correct over here too. So all the way around, it was never fitted correctly before. I managed to get it all to fit absolutely, I'd say, 98%, 95% perfect. I'm super chuffed with that result. And as you can see, when it's on, it's not looking too bad. Yeah, it was a little bit of a challenge. Some of the things were a little bent and out of shape, but we straightened them and got it back. So it doesn't look too bad after it's been given a bit of a polish. Just got to attend to the black trim a bit, give it a nice clean as well. But that was just putting that all together, and on my own. I have taken most of the afternoon to do this, because it's up and down to get it all right, check your measurements and spacings and things like that. So I'm pretty chuffed. That's come out excellent. Really happy. Small victory in the bigger picture, but yeah, the result is excellent. Really happy about that. Really happy about that. Good spacing. Really. It was so hard to get the spacing correct. It was really a struggle. Well, there we are. Yeah, on to more challenges soon. Bye for now. And don't forget, subscribe, share, like. Really could do with your support. And of course, any feedback you guys might know out there in the market where we can find odds and sods and parts and things for the car. That would be awesome. Thank you very much. Bye.